It is a sound like no other when they raise that 12th man flag here in Seattle, and we just heard it, and that means it's time for football at Lumen Field. First game's out of the way. Time to buckle down for the long season ahead, and we're off in week 2. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. First carry here for Kenneth Walker III. A very tough run, but for a pretty short gain out near the 32. He'll wind up getting a yard on the game's first play at 2nd down. You look at this Eagle defense. They are number 2 in the NFL against the run right now, Charles.
We know it's only week 1, but the results look pretty good so far. The key is, can they do it week in and week out? Because right now, they're not awarding any championships or trophies after 1 week of performance. Got some nice young faces playing for him. Let's see if they can get this going.
And he'll be tackled right on the chalk at the 45. First down Seattle on a pickup of 13. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
They'll look to throw here on first down. Oh, his first throw of the game going to be intercepted. And the Eagles are going to get it back here just shy of the 20.
I really don't think you can fault the decision-making here because your offense and quarterback, they really had a big week last week, and you're ready for them to go again here. Not the anticipated result, of course, but you definitely understand why they did what they did. That quarterback's been hot. You want to keep the ball in his hands and see if he can keep the magic going.
From the gun, it's Hurts. Open man, that's Devontae Smith. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first. And we see the emphasis early here. Get your star receiver involved. Able to do it successfully.
Not a bad start to begin with, that's for sure. And to me, this play says our guy is better than your guy's. Because, you know, a player of his stature, he won't just be single covered all game long. It's going to involve multiple people. And right away, they told the other team, guess what? He's just better.
Well, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Sheds off the tackle. And they will finally stop him as he's down to the 40-yard line. So consecutive interceptions here early on in this one, and maybe setting the tone, Charles, for a game where the defense really takes center stage.
And don't you think that both offenses are really catching a bit from their coaching staff about avoiding these turnovers that we've seen early? I think both teams are trying to find an advantage. We know that. Can one of them break away and take control of this game?
Walker now on 1st and 10. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
A ball on the 32. It's 2nd and 2. And Walker once more. And he's going to get this one down to the 30. You look at this Eagle defense. They come in a top 10 unit against the pass, currently 8th in the NFL.
And I'm struggling a little bit trying to really categorize this crew. They're top 10 in the league against the pass, but the bottom half of the league in sacking the quarterback. That doesn't make sense. Imagine if this group ever put pressure on the QB, they'd easily move into the top 5.
They'll try for the first with Walker. Trying to barrel up been there, but I don't think he got it. Call it no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1. Remember, that was less than a yard. That was not a full yard. That defense, they were having none of it.
Yeah, the surge the offensive line was seeking actually occurred on the other side of the ball. They reestablished the line of scrimmage and stuffed them.
From here, this would have been a 48-yarder, but no, they're going to go for it. He'll look to throw. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he's going to get the first down here as he's taken down at the 22. Give them credit. They knew what they wanted to dial up on 4th. They executed it for 9 yards, and the offense stays out there. A give for Walker running right. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. The Seahawks at 1-0 on the year following the win in Week 1. And they've gotten a pretty good deal from the schedule makers as well. Home dates in Weeks 1 and 2.
And I would believe that they would need to take advantage of that, partner, because as you can imagine, the road dates will pile up later this season. So this is a great opportunity for them to put some early distance on the rest of the division and create a little bit of a cushion for them for later in the year.
A yard in the wrong direction makes 3rd down tougher. 3rd down and 9. They went with the run-pass option, and I don't know if the option really mattered there because the defense was ready.
So many times you put the defense at a disadvantage because you have those multiple options, but when they read their keys and play it correctly, sometimes the result goes in their favor.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. He'll find Metcalf. And he's going to be taken down short of the first, right around the 15-yard line. And that's good for a gain of 6. And that's going to bring up a 4th down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
And his kick is indeed good. And the Seahawks grab a 3-0 lead. So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense. The firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, only gave up 3 points off of that, so it shouldn't be a difficult hole to overcome.
It really shouldn't, as long as they're not listening to the chatter coming from the other side, because when you throw a pick, look, I know defensive backs, they have a tendency to be a little bit loud after they take one away, but they also have a tendency to gamble a little bit more, thinking they'll get a second one. Maybe they can take advantage of that with some double moves.
Kenny Clark, the big D tackle there to make the stop. Now a 2nd and 10. In motion, the tight end. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Start of the 2nd quarter, and it's the Eagles in possession as they've got it with a 2nd and 10. In motion goes the tight end. Throwing is Hurts. And this one complete to Smith. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
He's got his running back out of the backfield. And he is going to have an Eagles first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
And I like the idea here. Get the ball in his hands, even if it's in the passing game. 3 catches a week ago, and he does a nice job here to pick up yardage.
Well, this offense hoping to avoid the 0-2 start. They trail, but they've got a 1st and 10 here. On the option left, it's Hurts. And he is going to lose yardage here. Well, sometimes that option can get bogged down before the gears really even get into motion, and I think that's what we saw there.
And I think what he saw a defensive end right in his face because he looked up and he was right there. Didn't even have a chance to get going.
So their task a little bit more difficult now. 2nd and 13 that they're walking up on. Hurts sets up to throw it. He'll get this one complete. That's A.J. Brown. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And it brings up 3rd and 5 now.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. Third and 5. Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts. This one goes out wide for Barkley. And he's going to get this inside the 30. The Eagle passing game looking good on this drive. It's a 1st down. Seems as if the passing attack's starting to heat up a little bit here in the 2nd quarter.
You can sense and you can see the momentum because now they're reading their patterns downfield. They're understanding the coverages, and they're finding the open holes in the defense.
Here's Hurts to throw. This is caught. It's Brown. And he will reach the 5-yard line before going out of bounds. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field, and just like that, they're going to be set up with a 1st and goal.
And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line. 2nd and goal. Hurts. Flushed out right. It's just a gain of a couple there on the scramble, and now it's 3rd down.
They made a nice effort to stick him with a loss for that play, but it's going to take more than that to keep him from advancing the ball. Should be an entertaining battle anytime he tucks and runs over the 2nd half of this contest.
Off the play fake, here's Hurts. He'll buy some time right. And he is going to lose yardage here. Call it a loss of 2 there on the play. And that will bring up an interesting decision here on 4th and goal. When you throw it this close to the goal line, usually you're thinking touchdown. Here they actually complete it but lose yardage.
When you're this close to the goal line, you have to anticipate that maybe you're going to see a defense that you can make a case that there's 11 in the box. There's just no room. So I'm with you. You've got to find a way to push things downfield a little bit. Any type of space is better than what we just saw there. And that end result, not one that's satisfactory to them.
Field goals all we've had so far. 3-3 now as the kick is away. And that'll be a little too hot to handle as it will skip through the end zone for a touchback here. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Yeah, boy, here's a sight you don't want to see. Ken Walker injured on that last play. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. Here we go on 2nd and 12. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. It's caught inside the 25. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. DK Metcalf, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Seahawks have taken the lead. No going for 2. They'll kick the point after. And it is up. And it's good. That'll make our score 10-3 now. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And they'll let that one go as it skips through the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. Just a lone field goal for them so far, trailing 10-3 as they come up 1st and 10. Escaping the pressure right. And just shedding him off there. And all the way down to the 29. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a 1st down.
They asked him to take charge and get them to a spot where they could at least attempt to kick before the half, and he does just that. Didn't trust what he saw downfield, so he took it upon himself to get them into field goal range using his legs. That's coming through with a play they needed in a big spot.
To Barkley on the check down. And he'll be out of bounds, able to get it down to the 25 there. They'll give him 4 yards there, and that's going to bring up 2nd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
A handoff to Barkley on the option. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sacked back at the 29. Will McDonald gets in there to take him down. And some hot water now after that sack. It's 2nd and 21. Incomplete, and we're down to 8 seconds now.
Well, partner, guaranteed they approach this play with the idea of making up ground to make 3rd down manageable. Unfortunately, with that incompletion, right back where they started on the last snap. Now they need a big 3rd down play in order to pick up the yardage needed.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. And now they'll take a timeout defensively. After the 2nd down play, they burn the timeout, making them sweat out the final few ticks here in the 2nd quarter. Now 3rd down and very long. They go play action with Hurts. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Well, how about the coverage we just saw him break out on 3rd down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
The kick by Elliott is good, and that'll bring him back within 4. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number one. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
And with time running down, they go down to a knee. First half in the books. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gordon, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. It's the Eagles ready to see the football first, and they trail here as we resume action in this third quarter. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. And they do trail, but they have a chance to possess the football first to try and do something about it.
And that certainly makes it something of an important drive for them, because is it going to win the game? No, but you have to do something to bring some life to your sideline.
That play going for 16 yards to start the drive, first down. That one definitely helps as they try to push the ball down the field here, trailing early in the third quarter.
And even though they're trailing, not abandoning the running game. People may call it an adjustment. I think it's just much more sticking to what works for you and continuing to have faith in it. And the running game is starting to pay off.
And holding it may be the wrong decision as he stopped in the backfield. Hurts with a quick throw, complete. And he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. So he stopped for no gain. And that'll force upon him a 3rd and 14.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. You're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
So here's a 3rd and 14. Looking to throw. Flush to his right. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. Able to find a seam for 14 yards, but still now facing a 4th down after the scramble.
That's multiple times now he's tagged him with a big gain with his legs. Really showing off some nice awareness and the ability to correctly realize when he's got a chance to tuck it and go himself.
They'll run for it with Barkley. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. On their own side of the field, close to the 50, but their own side of the field, they only needed a couple of inches, and they were able to get it done.
And it doesn't matter whether you're a zone blocking team, a man blocking team, gap blocking, whatever you want to call it. When it's in this situation, it's really man on man, isn't it? Who's going to win the battle? And right there, we saw it at the point of attack. Find enough yardage to pick up a first down. Give him credit for that one.
2 catches in the first half. Now he's got a 3rd here, and it's good for a first. They're going to look to throw. Fires the quick slant. A.J. Brown's got it. And the Eagles are going to have a 1st and goal as he'll be taken down at the 7-yard line.
Now what we're seeing, this is much better from this offense because so far in this game, no touchdown to this point. And what's usually a direct correlation? Very few explosive plays. That's been their issue. Not able to make that big shot downfield or break one off, but a nice game there for a first down.
And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. 3 red zone trips have yielded just 2 field goals for them to this point, so they'll be searching for something more on 2nd and goal here. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. That one doesn't find its target, but all in all, he's been much sharper this week. He was under 50% a week ago, and now he's up over 70%.
But you know it's standard for quarterbacks and receivers get together for a little extra time each and every day in practice. I get the sense they got together for a lot of extra
touchdown! Dallas Goedert, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Eagles have taken the lead as they go right down the field and score on the opening drive of the second half. Elliott good on the extra point, and that gives him a 3-point lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And they'll be working from behind now following the touchdown a moment ago on the opening drive of the half.
I think the guys right now, as they go out on offense, they're zeroing in on one big key. They don't have to do anything differently just because they're down on the scoreboard now. The intent, still the same in what they plan to do on offense.
Ridiculous, take him out. Making a slip pass.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. They'll start out here with a jet sweep. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. That's a gain of 11. Would have been a first down if not for that penalty moments ago. They work now on 2nd and 9. In motion right is Pittman. 2nd and 9 now. And this throw will be intercepted. And the Eagles are going to take possession here at their own 33. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. This offense thankful, I'm sure, to have the football back, but also, Charles, after a long drive of their own, they've got to be a little weary.
Yeah, I would agree with that, and what you have to do to combat it, try and get fresh legs in where you can, especially the skill positions. And then for the offensive line, instead of attacking, maybe slow the tempo down a little bit, let them catch their breath.
11 yards for number 11. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield. But that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Up the middle with Barkley. And this is going to be an Eagles first down as good running gets him to about the 44. 3 quarters in the books. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Seattle, Washington. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. So a solid run by Saquon Barkley and another 1st and 10 here. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down. The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? Just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking.
Throw right side, caught by Goddard, the tight end. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. 23 yards the pickup there. So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. A first down carry for Barkley. And a good gain here of 9 from the 19 down to the 10. If you can keep getting gains like that, Charles, with the lead here in the 4th quarter, I mean, keep running it, right?
No doubt about it, but what the offense coordinator has to do is understand. They're going to continue to stack the line of scrimmage. What runs do you have in your arsenal that'll work against a stacked box and continue to move the ball?
Ball resting on the 10-yard line. It's 2nd and 1. Again, it's Barkley. And here he'll get it down to the 7. Well, now hang on here because he appears to be shaken up. Well, hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break. So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. Now back to throw. And he's brought down right at the 5-yard line. Give him 2 on the play.
His running ability has been an extra dimension of their game plan thus far. For once, though, he doesn't create any magic against the front. They're prepared for him to try and take off.
If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up 2nd down. And he's in for an Eagles touchdown. A great play there with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Eagles will add to their 4th quarter lead. Elliott good with a PAT, and his guys will take a 10-point lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And the script really is flipped for them. The momentum on the other sideline, and now they have to try and battle back from a 2-score deficit. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. And, oh, boy, nobody wants to see this. That's the running back, Kenneth Walker, who appears to be injured. In need of only about the length of the football here on 2nd down. On play action, they'll throw. Got a man. It's complete to Jelani Woods. First target, first catch, and a first down.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game. Yes. Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. Work to do here to avoid falling to 1-1, but this is 1st and 10 right now. Back to throw. Drops this underneath for Chandler. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
The defense was ready for the back to leak out and even had a second player waiting to double him up. If you're going to commit to doubling a back, you better prevent a completion, but give him credit. Extra determination, extra effort, turn it into a successful play.
And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
They'll look to throw again. That's complete to Chandler on the check down. 2nd and 10.
No gain on the play. Brings up 2nd and 10 at the Eagles' 28-yard line.
Again, he'll drop to throw. Throw left side complete. That's Chandler. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
And a nice gain and a broken tackle along the way. And really, we shouldn't be surprised, should we? That's what runners do, especially the best ones. They break tackles and gain extra yardage.
That is caught. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. The 2 timeouts still remaining, but scoring quickly, a must. It's 1st and 10. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Throwing the out route and complete. It's Chandler.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it can turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
They'll come up now. 2nd and 9. Back to throw again. And that is incomplete.
Now the question is obvious. Do you try to kick the field goal right here knowing that you need 2 scores? I would be thinking about it if I were on that sideline. Get the field goal now, try and get the touchdown later.
Well, this feels like a late season game, even though it's just week 2. Here's a big 3rd down. They'll drop to throw. And this is caught now for a late touchdown. So hold everything here. This one's not over yet.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed, but if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively, though, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right, and if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like, yeah, you know,
it doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. And this one now not quite over yet. Still 2 timeouts remaining defensively. And, boy, having that 3rd timeout would have really helped here.
Yeah, another example of why coaches really stress saving your timeouts for when you absolutely have to have them. They go over this all the time. Here's one of those situations.
From the 28, it's 2nd and 5. This short throw caught by Goddard. And that should do it. He's got a first down. And the Eagles, they can run it out from here.
Well, they picked up a little bit of yardage there. And now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
5 points of contact necessary at this stage as they'll run on first down.
So when your team leading in the 4th quarter, you know you've got to run the football. They know you've got to run the football. Sometimes that means there's nowhere to run the football.
2nd and 12, and you'd have to assume another all-out effort to stop the run is coming. He's going to get it again. Just looking to get forward and protect the ball. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. Now the Seahawks forced to use their third and final timeout as they'll stop him with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. 2 running plays go backwards, so what's the call on 3rd and 13 now? They run the counter. Stroud. And this effort won't do it. He needed to get to the 45. He's a yard or 2 short. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it. Get the first down. Close it out.
He's going deep for Brown. And it's intercepted. Picked up by Devin Witherspoon. Like all great games, it came down to the final snap, Charles. They had to heave it and hope, but the Hail Mary ultimately intercepted, and that's your ball game.